the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Hey guys, happy Monday. I wanted to come to you with a quick article. This article, I found it to be fascinating reading about Prince Harry's girlfriend, Meghan Markle. She has penned an essay for um, Elle Magazine UK about being biracial. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article because I have a little bit I want to talk about, and I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to put a link down below. You guys are welcome to go and read the whole article. It's a very short read. Let's get into it. So it starts out talking about how she writes an essay about the thing that no one can stop talking about. In other words, everybody's talking about the fact that she's biracial. Um, She says to describe something as being black and white means it's clearly defined, she explained. Yet when your ethnicity is black and white, the dichotomy is not that clear. In fact, it creates a gray area. Being biracial paints a blurred line that is equal parts staggering and illuminating. When I was asked by Elle to share my story, I'll be honest, I was scared, she said. She goes on to talk about how odd it is, or ironic it is, I guess, that she was drawn to acting because in acting, everything is about labels. In other words, when she goes in for a part, that character part has a label. She says there couldn't possibly be a more label-driven industry than acting, seeing as every audition comes with a character breakdown: beautiful, sassy, Latina, 20s, African American, urban, pretty, early 30s, Caucasian, blonde, modern, girl next door, she said. Every role has a label. Every casting is for something specific. But perhaps it's through this craft that I found my voice. Being ethnically ambiguous as I was pegged in the industry meant I could audition for virtually any role, morphing from Latina when I was dressed in red to African American when in mustard yellow. My closet filled with fashionable frocks to make me look as racially varied as the 80s Benetton poster. Sadly, it didn't matter, she said. I wasn't black enough for the black roles, and I wasn't white enough for the white roles, leaving me somewhere in the middle as the ethnic chameleon who couldn't book a job. So, then she goes on to talk about when she landed her Suits role, they didn't want a black or white person. They just wanted Rachel, which is the character she plays on Suits. And, she talks about now being a strong, mixed, confident, mixed race woman, despite some of the challenges that she's gone through. Again, you guys, please check out the article. There will be a link below. Let's get into my standpoint on what I read. I can read and tell that she has had her share of challenges, as I'm sure a lot of mixed race individuals have had. I don't think it's easy out there for any person of color. You do have to break down these stereotypical walls. Now, having said that, I will say this. She is an extremely beautiful woman. And although I'm sure she's had her challenges, I'm sure she's had some really, really great advantages. Not only being beautiful, but clearly being able to be a little bit more of a chameleon. What I find funny is that the very thing that allows her to be able to be a chameleon is her black blood. Like, once you mix in that African American component, everything to me becomes that much more beautiful. It enhances and makes everything that much more buttery smooth. If you've ever looked at the Aboriginal people, really looked at them, not look at the shape of the nose and the ears and the nappy hair, not all that, but look into the depth of their skin tone, you will see that there is such beauty and light in that melanin. So I think it's funny that she doesn't see herself as black or white, but mixed race. I think that's great. When one of the reasons she's allowed to cross those lines and sort of be that chameleon is the fact that she has black blood in her. She wouldn't be able to be that chameleon, I don't think, without that black blood. Now, that's not to knock her at all. That's not to talk against her at all. Like I said, I think it's great that she knows exactly who she is and she knows that she is enough as she is. I just think that although she's had her challenges, I am sure, I am almost positive that she has been more widely accepted than a person who is full African American. Who is wholly African American. Now, I know people say you're black if you have what, 1/5, 1/15, something like that of African American blood that makes you black. Well, we know that that's the thought process, and we know that that's how the government viewed things back in the day, and perhaps even still now. I don't know, but I think about Mariah Carey. Like no one ever mentions that Mariah Carey is actually a black woman. I mean, people don't call her sister, any of that stuff. Even in the blogs, no one ever talks about the fact that she is a mixed race individual. She's always just Mariah. And I'm not sure how she has overcome that, because I remember back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, that was all people talked about, was the fact that she black, she black. But now people very rarely ever mention it. I would love for race never, ever, ever to be an issue. However, unfortunately, because of the skin that I'm in, I know that it will always be an issue. And I always take a little umbrage with people who can float in between the races so fluidly and still they feel as though, um, they still feel this sense of oppression. I don't know. But it's something I have to work on. It's something I have to work through, and probably having conversations with more mixed race people, I'll have a better understanding. Um, it's just that African Americans, full-blooded African Americans, are treated so poorly um, that somehow she seems to me, in my eyes, to be better off. Let me know what you guys think about it. I welcome your comments. I appreciate you guys um, watching this video, the clips, and hearing out my voice. I appreciate you letting me voice my opinions and my right to be wrong and or right and or have questions about this subject matter. Please weigh in, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Before I go, honeybees, I want to wish Malibu 25 a happy birthday today. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday, and I hope the rest of your week is awesome, and good luck on your next semester of nursing school. To the rest of my honeybees, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And until next time, honeybees, ah!